Okay, this is going to be a demonstration for how to tweak and modify your double exposure photo. So, once you've, cut out the portrait, you added your second photo, you did your overlay, sometimes when you combine your first and second photo, it may not be perfect the way it is. Some cases, it may be perfect when you overlay, and other times you're going to have to make more changes and adjustments as you to make it look better, look more refined. But there should be a good balance though between your portrait and the second photo. In this case right here, though, like I don't really like how the portrait's covering, or like the man's covering the woman's eye in this particular photo. So if you have like a background picture for like the second picture, it is a lot easier to combine those two photos together. Whereas if you're trying to do like another person within a person, like I do my portrait here and there's another person here, because I want to go with like the idea of like this woman's thinking about this man here, kind of like a lovey-dovey kind of photo. It is a little bit more challenging to combine those two types of photos. So in order to get it work though, you would have to erase either certain parts of the portrait or certain parts of the person, depending on like what kind of effect you're going for. And you would mainly do it through the layer mask here. Okay, but if you look at the example from like your warm up for today, the fix that I did though, we did talk about this earlier though, but basically I just erased parts of the second picture, just to show a little bit more of the eye, and then I got rid of the hand in the picture. Okay, so that's really easy to do though. Just make sure to go on the layer where your the second man is, and you just get a big brush, big fuzzy brush. Use a soft edge brush. Change the I actually recommend doing 15, just because it's already like faded with the effect. So you don't want to go like too much with it. So I'm just going to color these parts black here. So I'm just going to click a few times to color it in, and this is going to allow me to review the portrait a little bit more. And, if I want to change the positioning, and just make sure to uncheck the lock. I can move it a little bit more up here, resize it, make it bigger. Let's move it like over here. Just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Just trying to like fix like the edges over here. It's a little funny. Yeah. So I'm just erasing like parts of the photo here, because I don't want this white from his clothes to show up here. Probably not don't want these background to show here. It's just better to kind of like look at the portrait there. So that's just erasing like parts of the picture. So that way it's not distracting on the body, and then on the portrait itself. And just be careful though. I would just make a copy of the layer mask. So I'm just gonna right click on here, duplicate the layer. Make a layer mask, make a copy of it, just in case if you mess up. Like let's just say I'm not happy with how that looked. I can take the layer mask off. Whoops, she didn't mean to finish that off. So I can delete it. Just delete it normally. And then if you don't like it though, you can replace it again to fix your picture. So I need to start over again. I can start over again like before, but I suggest making a copy of the layer mask just in case, and you can just hide one of those layers. So I'm just gonna hide this layer. This is just a copy in case I mess up. But on the portrait layer though, it's a little hard to see the person here. I'm gonna do the same thing though. I'm just gonna color the picture black, but this time it's only affecting the portrait layer. So I'm just gonna color a little bit on the hair though. I'm actually like faded in, faded out. And I recommend using Command Z to undo your mistakes. It's really nice that they changed that option. If you need to bring back the portrait, you can though. So now this looks a little bit better. It's like coming along better. So actually, I'm gonna get rid of this part here. I actually don't like that line. I want to show more of her neck in the picture. So like this kind of makes more sense in terms of like what I'm trying to convey with the story. Just like the picture of the man, and erase this part a little bit more. Seeing some weird lines. So white will bring back the picture. The black will erase it. Now this is kind of me like help me tell a story a little bit better. Now he's kind of like focused on the man more and this less distractions. So you can see the difference between what I started off with. What I started with here, and actually that's not where I started with. I actually start off with this one here. And you can see like right here, I actually had to crop the picture for the demonstration, but you can see like the difference here, and what we did at the very end. All right.